Okay, countdown.
Every morning I wake up to the sound
Countdown.
of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading
Copy.
podcast in my ears.
And
Guiding me
live chat.
through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show.
links
Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick
Morning, Josh.
trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.
I'm gonna turn off the ads for live, I think.
Sign up for the newsletter, let us
I'm not
help you
making
grow.
money at it.
Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll
pennies.
conquer, no
More
room for
annoyance
any
than
less.
anything.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading
cool.
bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter.
Hit the thumbs up button, by the way. Morning, Wendy.
Making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now.
I'm gonna open up the links while I'm on air. I mean, it doesn't make sense to have the damn thing going. I gotta get the wider. I have a webcam with a wider angle, so it's not just my my face. But okay, and you can see the cool purple background. I have a reader request, so that I think people might find interesting. We will go over a reason to buy crypto, gold and silver, and the metals. We'll talk about that. Nvidia. I mean, bullish. Jensen kind of told us what was going to happen with at CES, so I'll go over my thoughts there. Defense stocks are just, I mean, Wednesday was a crazy day. If you own defense stocks, if you have any defense ETFs, it was nuts. I will go over how I find stocks. This is kind of a interesting one. Because I just use this per se. Costco, don't fall asleep on it. It's a good stock. It's expensive. This is just a fantastic clip of Hamid and Dustin from Savvy Trader going over Micron and how he found it. Again, there's a story to the entire podcast about finding stocks. Healthcare stocks, Fannie Mae, in the news. This one could explode. You know, this particular scan is earnings from 12th to the 16th. Strong buys again, because you want to know something? I mean, just rinse and repeat. Applied Digital pops. It was up 8% yesterday, up 3% after what? A strong buy on the quant with earnings. I mean, rinse and repeat. It's getting clear exactly how 2026, again. And I'm going to have a rant at the end, by the way, about douchebags telling me that all I do is sell. So there's your show from back to front. And the market hasn't popped. We had really good, those employment numbers were really good. So, let's see. Let's go to the core investments. And anything popping in the morning? Cleveland Cliffs is. I mean, minerals are going to, materials are going to pop. It's just a few people in here. I know I'm not as regular as I was before, but let's remove that segment. But I'm holding to a regular schedule. Berkshire, get it under 500. I mean, this one has just been a crazy since April. Nothing. Morning, T. Jassy. Good morning. I actually almost went live for everybody on Substack this morning. I may do that Monday. That might be something that I do. Because it's not like YouTube just fucks me over every freaking time. So, yeah. Oklo and Vistra, VST. Hey, I don't own those stocks. I wish I did on days like today. Oklo, if anybody didn't know, Meta is buying power from Oklo and Vistra. And Oklo is up 18%. Vistra, I think, is up like 8 or 9%. Vistra's up 17%. So, I mean, buy the dip. Where's Vistra going to trade to? 176. It's probably 200 is where I would guess. Pelosi bought it. It dipped down. Let me turn on my do not disturb so nobody calls me. It dipped down and you had the chance to buy the dip, and then it dipped back up and it'll dip down. I mean, look at those indicators. I talk about indicators all the time. Okay. And patience pays off, because right here, your MACD is down below. Your RSI on Vistra is 36. It's still an expensive stock, but you're going to pay for this stuff. And it's a sell in the quant because the valuation is just, even its PEG ratio at 1.25. That's great. But, again, it's 4 out of 5 on the independent stuff. HNRG is the first one. This one's not as expensive, but you're trading sideways on these energy names. And the reason is because energy is going to be considered to be cheap. That's what the Trump administration wants. They want cheap energy. So, and Steve outlined that. Let me see my analyst innovative industrial. I need to contact Rita. I need to go on investing experts again. Grok images to paying users. Oh. Interesting. I'm a paying user. I'm in of Grok, so but yeah, let's see. And I'm gonna redo the core portfolio for Q1. Qualcomm's down 1%. Go to QQQ. Okay. Let me see. We'll stick with the 4 hour. Let's see. AEVA. This one, it's slowly come down. I mean, that was the hype. It never really had. I mean, after its pop with the NVIDIA or the LiDAR news that it took in, partnered with NVIDIA. It was interesting. So, okay, hit the thumbs up button. This particular episode is all about how I find stocks. I think I have, yeah. Okay. Pelosi stock tracker, gold, yeah. Okay. We've got a good show. Okay, let me start recording. Good morning. It is Friday, January 9th. I get a good show. I mean, we're going to talk about how I take everyday opportunities and turn them into stock. Me personally, a personal story from yesterday. We will go over the data. Friday, big data today. We just got jobs report. It's good. We'll talk about that one. We will talk about how you should be saying thank you to me because people that, you know, and I will end the podcast with a rant about being a good listener. And you need to be a good listener. So in order to listen to my podcast, I do think you need to be a good listener. But we'll talk about, you know, a stock. Rinse and repeat. Strong buy in the quant. Reported earnings pops 10%, up almost 20%, 30% since I brought it up last Monday. We'll give you a screener. We'll talk about some YOLO stocks. Fannie Mae, Oscar. Here's some other stocks that I brought up. And how do I find these stocks? We'll bring up a new stock. We'll talk about defense stocks. We'll talk about other stocks that I mentioned. We'll talk about metals. We'll talk about crypto. We're going to go into it all. And it's going to be a lot, so sit back, enjoy yourselves. So let's talk about things in everyday life. The first topic, things in everyday life that find opportunities. My friend called me yesterday, and he said, hey, I found this app, and I'm a little bit skeptical about connecting my bank account to it because what it does is it finds out where you shop. And every time that you shop at that place, it goes and buys $1 of the stock. So it goes into your bank account, extracts $1, and then buys $1 of that particular stock. So say you're shopping on Amazon. It goes and buys $1 of Amazon. So I said, well, why do you want to? Why can't you do that on your own? Every Friday, if you shopped on Amazon, just go and buy $5 worth of Amazon, $10 worth of Amazon. Just do that. I said, I think apps like that, and I think it's, I forget the name of the app, Sprouts or something like that, that Comcast has, that does that. It takes your pennies and puts it into the S&P 500. I think that creates lazy money thought processes. The automation of things like that means you are not looking at your credit card statement. It means you are not watching your money careful enough. So I was against the app. I said, I just want to make sure that you have your mind right as far as your money. And he was like, yeah, I just found it interesting. So my mind went immediately to, okay, I asked, how did you find this one? And he said he was playing a golf game on his phone and he saw an ad pop up for it. So my mind immediately, just because I own the stock, went to, he responded to an AppLovin ad. So there's two stocks. It's AppLovin and it's Unity Software. We'll take a look at both. But that's where my mind went. He got an ad. He took that ad and there was a response to that ad. That means that it works. That means that those two stocks, AppLovin and Unity, that I personally know, they may have an opportunity because, again, advertisers want reactions. It got a reaction. So that's immediately where I went. And I went to Seeking Alpha and I went to their AI. And we can go to the history here. And we will take, can you tell me, the prompt that I did, can you tell me what stocks are involved in gaming advertising? And it gave me the gaming advertising. Remember this one, Ever, okay? Ever is on top. It is a strong buy in the quant. Remember that because it will come up later in this podcast in a totally separate situation. And it goes over the key players in gaming advertising, platform-based advertising, gaming advertising. And then I asked it, I said, what about AppLovin or Unity? and it gave me AppLovin and Unity gaming advertising performance. They represent contrasting financial trajectories in the gaming advertising sector, with AppLovin demonstrating robust profitability while Unity continues its turnaround efforts. Again, if you want to research these and you go in, I just know because I own AppLovin. Okay, that's the one that I own. And I've owned it since for quite a while, I guess. Why is this not pulling up? There it is. AppLovin, it's a hold in the quant. I have owned this one since October 2024. It's been an alpha pick. And if you don't know what an alpha pick is, you may be new here. Alpha picks is a data-driven portfolio run by Seeking Alpha that gives you a new pick on the 1st and the 15th. We get a new one next week. And what I do is I take 1% of my portfolio. So if you got $100,000 into Alpha Picks, you're going to buy $1,000 of this new stock. Okay? Look at the performance of this over time. Alpha Picks portfolio is up 274%. The S&P is up 82%. We can look at AppLovin. 1 year, it's up 87%. Over 5 years, God, it's just slow. I don't know why it's slow. But year to date, you're down 8.5%. So I would go over to my Trendspider section, which is my charts, and I'd say, ooh, it's not a buy in the 4-hour algorithm. But if I wanted to buy it, I could set it up and let me back test that and look at it. The performance chart, 1,661%. On 18 positions in 24 months, the average win is 44%. If you just bought and held this, you made 1,398%. The MACD down low, the RSI at 38. Bollinger Bands, you're trading at the bottom of them, but then you go to a weekly chart and you can see it's quite extended. It may have more room down. I have outlined the support line. This is just me, but you can go into Sidekick and ask it. Again, how do I find these stocks? This is just where my mind goes. And so again, you can do this in everyday life. AI is a factor. You should be using AI. Let's talk about economic things that are moving the markets today. We got a jobs report. Payrolls growth roughly in line. The unemployment rate was expected to go from 4.6 to 4.5. It wound up at 4.4. The jobs market is strong. What does that indicate? That indicates that the Fed should lower rates. As long as inflation is in control, as long as the jobs market is strong, they should lower rates. So that's if you ever hear the term, don't fight the Fed, go and ask AI. What's the don't fight the Fed mean? Go and ask it, because it means as the Fed lowers rates, stocks should get a lift. And then later today at about 10 o'clock, the Supreme Court is going to release decisions. This isn't guaranteed that this is one of the decisions that they release, but in Polymarket, it is an overwhelming favorite that the Supreme Court will actually turn down the tariffs. This may move the markets significantly. It may already be priced in. I'm not 100% sure, but remember, even if they shoot down the tariff decision, it's going to, the Trump administration has many different levers that they can pull. So again, understand what these things mean to your stock. It's Friday. You shouldn't be making any rash decisions on a Friday. Even if the market crashes in the afternoon based on the SCOTUS decision, it's an opportunity. It's not something that we're at all-time highs. Do you realize that SPY, S-P-Y, okay, the high is 693. It's trading at 692 right now in pre-market. So you're at all-time highs. If you're afraid of all-time highs, then you should be taking some profits. Remember, Tom Lee said it, more than likely this year, we will have some type of big downturn. At all-time highs, you should be trimming long-term positions that you want to get back into lower. Doesn't mean that we won't go up 20% from now until, June and then come back 20%. It just means there's an expectation that we will see some type of big event, and nobody knows what that is. And so now I want to go over some opportunities that I brought up in the past. One that is just simple rinse, and repeat. Over and over again, I have told you, and I've even set up this scanner. Okay, this is a scanner that you can get by subscribing to the newsletter. The link is in the newsletter, and you get Seeking Alpha. Okay, Seeking Alpha Premium. I mentioned that the Alpha Picks. Well, they have a bundle with Premium. Okay, Premium and Alpha Picks. You save over $150 if you get them together. And Alpha Picks, we talked about that portfolio, which includes AppLovin, is up over 1,100%, something like 1,300% in that portfolio. And then you get Seeking Alpha Premium. And if you want anything that you want, by the way, it's on Linktree. The link is literally right below my head. linktr.ee/daily stock pick. But this scan, it is strong buys in the quant, which Seeking Alpha uses to rate stocks that report earnings next week. That's what this scan is. And you can just change the date every week. Okay, we got Bank of America. We've got Taiwan Semi. Those are big names. You got Delta Airlines. Everybody's flying. Guess what? Delta Airlines stock is flying. It's almost at its all-time high. It's 71. It's still a strong buy in the quant. And they report earnings next week. One that reported on Wednesday, which I brought up last week, which I brought up at the beginning of this week. I've been pointing this one out. It's a strong buy in the quant. Let's just talk about it. Because Applied Digital, APLD, okay, this is one of the AI stocks. We can see right there. I said, hey, if you buy at this 28, just understand that 32 is your top point. And that's not a bad percentage, okay? Until it turns that 32 into support, it's resistance. And it goes all the way back to a previous high in October of 2021, which it then tested again in March of 2022, which it then tested again in October until pulling back. And they blew away earnings. They were up 8% yesterday. They're up 3% in pre-market today. I brought this up at $28, okay? Again, rinse and repeat. So if you want this type of thing, get Seeking Alpha, get the bundle, or just get Seeking Alpha by itself and you get a free 7-day trial. See if it's for you. But I'd get the bundle because it comes with Alpha Picks. Now, let's talk about some YOLO stocks on this one. Let me just look at my notes real quick. Oh, yeah, I brought that up. Open Door. Okay, Open Door was up huge yesterday. That's one that I brought up. Why? Because Trump is talking about housing reform, and Open Door is in the housing market. This one was up, let's see, in pre-market, it's up 10.42% at $7.10. I'm unfortunately not able to get into this one because I tax loss harvested this. I will be able to buy it back lower. This is a stock that I bought based on Eric Jackson on Twitter. And if you don't think that this one's able to be pumped, you're wrong. See this one? It's got a bunch of right down there is $5.84. You see it pump up there. And then it's used that as its support. So at $7, I don't necessarily want to buy it today, but I've got it on a watch list. And when I come off of this tax loss harvesting, I am going to buy this one again. I like it. And another YOLO one, Fannie Mae, FNMA. The decision on Fannie Mae, their IPO seen in a month or two report. If you look at Fannie Mae, you may say, well, I don't want to buy it at $10. You know, I could lose all the money because its low was $4. Its high was $16. So it's got an opportunity. This is one that Bill Ackman is in big. Understand what you are getting into. This is not something that I would say, hey, you've got to go out and buy this one. Wall Street have 4 analysts that cover this. They say it's worth $13. That's a 22% upside. 4 people. It's not a ton. Another one, Oscar Healthcare, any healthcare. Okay, Oscar's just one that I particularly, it's up 6% in pre-market. It was up as much as like 12%. Why? The House passed the ACA credits, the Affordable Care Act. And if you don't think that they were going to do that, you don't know. It is an election year, a midterm election year. They are going to give these tax credits back. It's going to happen in one form or another. I have all of these stocks on watch lists for the show. Though I don't own any of those stocks, by the way. Fannie Mae, I'm stuck at. I don't own it. I want to own it, but I want to trade it. And I've been kind of hesitant. I may buy it in the near future. Open Door, I owned it. I took some tax loss harvesting. I'm just stuck out of it. Oscar, they are my healthcare company. I hate them, so I don't necessarily want to own the stock. So I have my own reasons. But here's some others that I've given, okay, that I do own. CrowdStrike, buy it under $500. This one has pumped. It is up 1.62% in CrowdStrike. If you go and look at CrowdStrike in Seeking Alpha, it's a hold in the quant. Why? Because of the valuation. That's the only thing that looks. By the way, if you want more, you can look at this AI analysis report, the virtual analyst report, and it will give you all the metrics of CrowdStrike. I say buy it under $500. Why? Because it's been a resistance level that I've identified all the way since July of last year. You saw it pump up. Sure, it can go higher. But I want to buy under this 517, and I want to sell it over that 517. And if we look at the weekly chart on this one, you can see these indicators have reset. The MACD, it's still 11 points above the oscillator, but you see it back here in September, what it did. By the way, September 2025, when the stock was trading at 402, the MACD was down there. The RSI was at the same place. Rinse and repeat. It's a good stock. Cybersecurity, I like it. Now, the death cross might be coming. You might just bounce off this. Understand that 400 is support. So if you're going to buy it at 460, for me, I'm looking at not even selling it, but adding to it until it gets to that 402. Maybe it's a little too risky for you. So let's look at one that is a strong buy in the quant. I think it's still a strong buy. That has a buy right now, $140. Credo, CRDO. This one has a resistance level I've identified at 177. How? Just look at the previous highs. September, October, December. It hit 177 each time. So I'm thinking, okay, the MACD down at this level where it was right here at 140, where you had a nice 10% gain right here. Maybe that's what's going on. Rinse and repeat. And if you look at Credo in Seeking Alpha, and Steve Kress just brought this one up on his Investing Experts podcast, it's still a strong buy. It's still got very good fundamentals. And Wall Street thinks it's worth $211, which is a 50% upside. There are 15 analysts that rate that. Go and look at this one. It's a semiconductor company. Okay? I like that one. And then you can go and look at this podcast. I told you, Hamid, who has a savvy trader portfolio that last year was up over 100%, and it's like 6 names, okay? At the end of December, he bought Micron, and he went into it on that podcast why he bought Micron, why Micron took such a large position in his portfolio in such a quick time. This one's up huge. Now it's down. It's coming down. It's up 1.83 in the pre-market at 333. Again, the 4-hour algorithm got you in there at 265. Rinse and repeat. Why? Because the 4-hour algorithm over the last 2 years beats buy and hold. You make 314% versus 281%. So if you're scared of holding this one, that's not a bad thing to use. Because if I look at the weekly chart on this one, we are extended beyond where we've ever been in this stock, ever. That MACD is higher on a weekly than it's ever been. Now, the RSI shows 81. That's completely overbought. So for me, after listening to Hamid, I am waiting for a dip. That's my strategy. What's yours? And by the way, don't forget about Costco. I go to Costco weekly. I love it. It's a stock that has not done well, but it was up 3% yesterday. Why? Well, they regained its mojo amid hopes for tariff relief and special dividend. Remember, they are suing the Trump administration for all the tariff stuff. They may get, with the Supreme Court ruling, they may get a refund of their tariffs because they sued. That's not a stock that looks really good. Year to date, it's up 6% though. 6% in what? 9 days? Is this the turnaround? Maybe. What a hit back. It's a hold in the quant. Why? The valuation. It's 45 times forward earnings. And its PEG ratio is incredibly high. But this is a company that, again, what's it worth from a Wall Street perspective? $1,030, 12% upside. Do you want to buy it at $9.15? Personally, I don't own this stock. I've got reasons I don't own it. I actually like Walmart better. So I have done my homework and I have chosen my battle. What's yours? It might be different. Again, I love Costco. I just don't own it. And I've made a mistake, by the way, in not owning it. I traded this one. And when you look at when we look at charting against the S&P and we go out 5 years, Costco has been a clear winner against the S&P. It hasn't been for a year, but it has been. So let's talk about how to find stocks, okay? Because one of the tools that I use is Trendspider. And they have this thing, this store, okay? You can import all of these tools into Trendspider. One of them, well, I should say all of them. These are legendary investors, okay? Scanners, strategies, indicators. They're all built based on the strategies that these legendary investors have used. This particular one, okay? Peter Lynch, he ran the Fidelity Magellan Fund for 30 years, not one down year. Beat the market every year. That's somebody you want to follow. And that's somebody you want to find stocks that are similar. So I go over here and I look at Peter Lynch and I look at GARP. GARP is growth at a reasonable rate. And remember at the beginning, I told you, remember that stock that came up in the interactive gaming area ever? Well, it's here too. And so I look at this and I say, ooh, the MACD's down below the oscillator. The RSI is at 40. It's in a Peter Lynch screener, which means it's got growth at a reasonable price. So I go over and I look at this one in Seeking Alpha, and it's a strong buy. Now, it's a $914 million, not billion-dollar market cap, so it doesn't fit my personal look at it. But I do like this one, and it trades really well on the 4-hour algorithm, which it doesn't have you in. But me knowing the 4-hour algorithm, it might get you in. And you might have an opportunity to make some money. You look at this one, it's above its 200-day. The 50-day just crossed it. It's going up. So it looks good. From a fundamental standpoint, again, it looks good. And you can read the AI summary analysis of it right here. So how do I find the stocks? Again, I use the tools that I have. These legendary investor tools that are in Trendspider with my 4-hour algorithm that trades well. You can get everything by just going to the link tree, investigating the tools. And again, I'm going to go on a rant here, but that's a stock that I just found this morning within 30 seconds of using the tools that I have. The future, I don't know what it is for that stock, but I can tell you from a standpoint of Wall Street, they like it too. 7 analysts with a $34 price target, a 34% price upside. And it's not chased. Again, this one went down here and it's coming back up. And you can see the revisions, eight of those analysts have earnings per share revisions up and the actual revenue up in the last 90 days. Finding good stocks with good opportunities. That's how you do it. Now let's talk about defense stocks. Because on Wednesday, defense stocks went for a wild ride. Trump, he put out a Truth Social post. I'm going to limit buybacks and bonuses. That sent the stocks just crushing. You see Lockheed Martin on your screen. Okay. Then after the market closed, our defense stocks are down. Trump said, you know what? I'm going to raise it next year based on the tariffs. I'm going to raise the defense budget by 50%. So Lockheed went from being down 10% to being up 10%. Okay? My question would be, where's our deficit going? If you're not saving money, you're spending more money. You're saying, hey, I'm taking more money in, but I'm not paying down the deficit. I'm just going to spend more money. But again, you've got LMT, you've got RTX, you've got a bunch of defense stocks, and you can see at Northrop Grumman, all of them here, ranked by quant. General Dynamics, it's a strong buy, 4.42. I'm sorry, it's a buy, 4.23. General Dynamics, what does that mean? Well, Wall Street has a 10% upside at 383. You're up 0.4. If we get a $1.5 trillion defense budget, that's really good for these stocks. And you want to know which ones fundamentally have a good opportunity. NOC, Northrop Grumman, that one's a strong buy in the quant, $4.50. And that just turned to a 4.50. Its growth, the growth score went up. Its revision score went up. Why? Because they're revising things up now. Now the revenue revised down. But again, it's an A+. So you want to be able to actually evaluate these stocks. I don't own any of these defense stocks. There are moral reasons. Again, I don't like holding defense stocks. Just my thing. Industrials I'm okay with, but defense stocks, whatever. Other things I've noticed, okay? NVIDIA is this bullish because NVIDIA is saying to China, okay, well, the administration said NVIDIA can sell more stuff to China. And NVIDIA is telling Chinese companies, yeah, we're not going to let you cancel. We're going to take all this money in. Typically, there's payment plans. There are discussions about, okay, you pay after delivery. This is, hey, if we promise to ship it to you, you're going to pay us up front. That is bullish for NVIDIA. But I continue to say NVIDIA will be outpaced this year by AMD. Doesn't mean that I'm not holding NVIDIA. The quant says it's a hold. Wall Street says it's a strong buy. By the way, they have a 36% increase in the price target. They think it's worth $252. This stock has done nothing over time. Why? Because everybody owns it. I mean, you go all the way back to August, and that's where we've been trading, August of last year. And then you go back and look at it, and there is a clear range here. Because when you hit that in June, it took you all the way until June of the following year to actually break through. So if we're looking at this, maybe August of this year is when we start to break through again to a higher side. Maybe. Again, I'm holding this stock. I'm adding to my AMD position, but I do hold a bunch of this, and I like the stock. We're in a market where the White House picks winners and losers. It's no longer a free market system, no matter how you look at it. So for me, gold and silver and copper, the metals, I probably will start investing in these this year. I already have a bunch of gold miners. Want to know why? Because Alpha Picks has a bunch of gold miners, so I own a bunch in that sense. But a doubling of defense spending, a lack of worry about the ballooning deficit, and other countries printing money and buying metals for their Fed services, again, it points to gold and silver are buy the dip opportunities. So one other one, crypto. What about crypto? Well, it's been in this stage. So I am a buy and hold guy on crypto. I want to look for opportunities to buy. So when the dip happens, I look to it. This is a notable trade alert from a government representative who sits on the Financial Services Committee on Digital Assets. He bought $100,000 of Bitcoin. Notable for 3 reasons. One, it was his first ever buy of Bitcoin. He sits on a Financial Services Committee on Digital Assets. He has never owned Bitcoin before. Then you look at Bitcoin, and it's at its lowest price for a while. I can look at my Bitcoin and crypto watch list here, and I can just look at Bitcoin, and we can see Bitcoin has traded sideways. We'll look at a weekly chart of this, and again, you can have all of these indicators. Look at how the MACD was low. Look at what happened in 2022 when everything was this low on a weekly. Look at what happened. You went all the way, by the way, from about $16,000. You went on a run all the way to $120,000. So do I think Bitcoin is an opportunity? Absolutely, I think Bitcoin is an opportunity. And if the government is going to get into bigger in Bitcoin because this guy knows something, I want to be in Bitcoin. So I am buying it on the 4-hour algorithm. When it tells me to buy, I'm buying it. Did I buy at 49? You bet I bought at 49. Did I buy at 50? You bet I bought at 50. Did I buy at 60? You bet I bought at 60. My strategy, because I've made the mistake of selling before. And so I know my mistake was selling. I'm just going to buy and hold. So now I got a reader request. And by the way, you can buy Ethereum. I own Ethereum as well. But I got a reader request. Lewis asked me about Sprouts Farmers Market. And he said, hey, because I brought up you want for the paid subscribers. I said, hey, you want to put previous alpha picks in a watch list because they can pop. Okay, Sprouts Farmers Market was one that I brought up. And he said, hey, Sprouts Farmers Market, it's a former alpha pick. We can go and look at it in the quant because that's typically where I will go. I don't want AFM. SFM is the thing. Let's look at it in the quant. It's a strong sell. This is a former alpha pick, and it's been a strong sell for a while, since November, okay? But this is, again, it's a former alpha pick that was sold because alpha picks is a rules-based portfolio, okay? Seeking Alpha analysts say it's a buy. They have a 4 out of 5 rating on this one. Wall Street says it's a buy. Why is it a strong sell? Well, has characteristics which have been historically associated with poor future stock performance, decelerating momentum, and negative earnings per share revisions when compared to other consumer staple stocks. The company has 3-month price performance of minus 46%, while the consumer staples sector is minus 4%. So consumer staples have been bad. This stock has been bad. But you're seeing it's up 3% yesterday. It's up 0.35% in pre-market. Is it good? Well, Wall Street, they have a 50% upside to this one at 116. You can see they have just chased this one down. So do I trust it? Well, there's 16 analysts that cover this one. So I don't always trust this stuff, but the strong sell would probably push me out. Do I need to own this one? The question is, do I need to own this one? Do I want to track this one? Do I think that there's opportunity in this one? Well, its short interest is 8.33%. So I know when it gets to a certain point, and you can see how it's traded sideways ever since November. Well, let's look at the chart a little bit, okay? And I'm doing this just on my own, just freewheeling it right now. It's got stuck. Let me see. Core investments. There we go. It's unstuck. But we've got a gap up here from the last earnings where it gapped down from 103 all the way down to 79. And you're just sitting there. 4-hour algorithm over the last 2 years trades really well on this one. Whereas 24 months ago, if you bought this, you're still up 61%. Okay? If you wanted to trade this one, you're up 116% over 23 trades. So it's about once a month. Again, that's my 4-hour algorithm in Trendspider. You can get it, and I think Lewis has it, but you can get it by clicking on that top link, and you go over to Trendspider and investigate which level you want, Any annual subscription gets my 4-hour algorithm. Any annual subscription. So even for $52 a month, you can get the 4-hour algorithm and you can trade Sprouts Farmers Market to your heart's content. Okay? That's the way I would look at this one. A strong sell in the quant doesn't warrant that I need to own this one. It says, hey, I may want to watch it because it's a former alpha pick. And as those things start to move, again, on a weekly basis, the MACD lower than it's ever been. It's RSI lower than it's ever been. Right on that 200-day. It very well might be a buy. But my thought, why is this a quant strong sell and a buy from Wall Street and seeking alpha analysts? My thought, this is what happens in a turnaround. The actual fundamentals don't change overnight in a turnaround, but all of a sudden analysts start recognizing things. So I went over to Perplexity and I said, can you write me a prompt for Trendspider's Sidekick? Because I love Sidekick and you'll understand why when you see the answer. Okay, so I didn't want to use one of my 25 to actually whittle down the prompt. I asked Perplexity, give me a prompt. It gave me a prompt. Okay. Then it looks at key SFM highlights. Stock surged in early 2025 on strong Q4 2024 results. Guidance raises hitting a $182 high, but fell sharply later amid normalization concerns. Positive 12 to 17% year-over-year growth. Store openings 455, $1 billion buyback. Negatives. Analyst target Qs. Zacks underperformance 68. Consensus moderate buy. Average 138 to 175, 80% upside. It's trading at 77. So I don't trust this AI because it's still putting some crazy stuff in there because it's out on the internet. I asked it one more step. Can you also give me an analysis of the stock act as a seasoned 25-year-old veteran on Wall Street, talking to an everyday investor on a podcast? So it gave me a full script. Hey, folks, back to the show. Today we're diving into Sprouts Farmers Market while me channeling my 25 years grinding on the street. Price action gives you a full take. Analyst takes, good, bad, the ugly. Future outlook. It tells you looking ahead. Sprouts Farmers Market got tailwinds in the healthy eating megatrend. Folks ain't ditching kale for donuts anytime soon, but risks loom from inflation biting margins, more Spruce Point noise. Spruce Point, I forget what that is. I think it's a supplier. And if comps dip below 5%, watch out. Earnings due soon could spark a rebound to $100 if they guide up. I'd buy the dips under 80 for patient swings, but trim if it breaks 70. Bottom line, it gave you all of this. Bottom line, quality name, oversold, but don't chase, dollar cost average, and let the buyback do its thing. Drop your thoughts below. You're not going to drop your thoughts below. But again, I don't trust it because it's quoting old prices. So I think that the analysis is flawed. So I went over and I used the prompt that Perplexity gave me. I just copy and pasted. And it gave me the comprehensive, all of the looks. So if you want to look at the fundamentals, again, look at the comp sales growth, exceptional, peak, extraordinary. You get to Q3 2025, decelerating. That's why the stock has gone down there. Is it too beaten up? Maybe. According to Perplexity, it is. So then you go down here and it looks at the major catalyst, $1 billion share buyback authorized August of 2025, 10-year distribution deal with KEHE. I don't even know what that is. You can Google it. Health-focused grocery. Demand remains secular tailwind. Store expansion, 35 new stores in 2024. Again, we're in 2026. So the negatives, revenue miss, broke 8 quarters beat streak. Guidance, cuts, signals management uncertainty, increased competition. I brought up to Lewis in my email back to him. I said, hey, I've stopped shopping at Sprouts. Why? Because the prices went up and the quality stayed the same versus Whole Foods. The quality has been elevated and their prices have actually come down. I like it. Valuation reset. The PE crashed from 40 to 22 times. Red flag. CEO sold $6.9 million worth in March of 2025, near its peak of 140, followed by regular sales. So they bring all of that up. And then they give you a bottom line and a full trading price trajectory. The base case, 60% profitability, range bound 70 to 95%, $70 to $95 for the next 6 months, needs to prove Q4, Q1 stabilization. Bull case, 25% probability. Again, they give you the probability of all of the bull case, bear case, everything. This is why a Sidekick is so much better than any AI. And again, Lewis, it's clear something went wrong with the stock, the narrative change. So you have to go in and you have to find that narrative. Is it something that I'm putting my money into? Well, on this weekly chart, if it got over that 9-day on the weekly chart, I don't want to buy a falling knife. But if it got confirmation over that 9-day and it started to move, because right now you're seeing every moving average except for the 200-day move negative. The 50, the 21, and the 9. If it gets over that 9 and we start to see it pummel up, maybe that's an opportunity. But for me personally, I don't shop there anymore. So it's hard for me to say, yeah, it's a turnaround. Does it fit my strategy of being an AI? No. Is it a great trade? Potentially, yes. So again, use the tools that you have in front of you. Now, some people may say, all I do is talk about Linktree. All I do is talk about these tools like Premium and Alpha Picks, like Trendspider, all of this. And I will put this to you very politely because sometimes I'm not polite about this. But if all of this to you sounds like just a sales pitch on this podcast, on this entire podcast, I'd point out to you there's one of two things, okay? Either this podcast is not for you, and I'm fine with that. I don't need a big audience. But the second thing I'll point out to you, I don't think that you're a good listener. Why? Because I just brought up tons of individual stocks. I bring up the success stories of stocks that I've personally invested in or that I've found and listeners have celebrated with me. Okay? I also bring up some of the misses. There's no way anybody can be 100%. The goal of this show is exactly to show you how to look at stocks, not to sell you these tools, because I made millions of dollars without these tools. But these tools, I always say, work smarter, not harder. These tools allow me to save hundreds of hours. I wish they were around in my earlier years because I save hundreds of hours of research and I quickly find opportunities to buy, sell, trim, or hold positions within my personal portfolio. If you expect me to do a podcast on tools that you use, wrong. Now, if you find a stock with your tools and the tools that you have worked for you, I am happy for you. I'd be happy to look at a stock if I think that it's a good one. Most of the time, people send me these stocks. Hey, can you look at this one? I don't own it is my typical response. Some of the Tuesday office hours that I do, again, if you get my newsletter and you're a paying subscriber, the Tuesday office hours are where I will go into depth into a stock that you ask me about. Every Tuesday at 9 a.m., I am live on Substack, and I will go into detail on a stock. The fact that I don't own it shouldn't tell you you shouldn't buy it. If your tools have been successful, you should go and buy it. If you have conviction in a stock, go and buy it. Let me give you an example. I own a Tesla car. I love it. I will never own another kind of vehicle unless something tops a Tesla for me. Others love BMWs. For me, they are absolute trash. Others may love Chevys. I rented a Camaro a few years ago. I owned a Camaro in my early 20s when I had a mullet. I look at anyone today that buys one of those Camaros that were made in the last 5 years as a moron. Honestly, because it's such a bad car. But there are people that love that car. That car was trash for me. Stocks are opinions, not facts, because the reality of even Sprouts Farmers Market, it could be up here at 140 within the next 3 months, doubling your money. I don't own it. Would I be upset that it went that way and I didn't own it? No, because it doesn't fit my thesis. My tools tell me stay away from it. There are so many good stocks out there. Why would I go into this one? It's on a watch list because it's a former alpha pick, but the fundamentals have changed in that stock. So again, the fact that I don't own it, my opinion on it is my opinion. The only fact in the market is the price. And that's the only thing that I would necessarily care about. If you come to me 6 months from now, Lewis, and you said, I lost, it's down at 40. I lost half of my money. I would say, well, kind of the indications were there. It's below the 9-day. You didn't have confirmation. If you come to me, 6 months from now and you've doubled your money, I will say, hey, that 9-day turned around. Everything turned around. I didn't need to buy it at 70. I probably should have waited until 80. So again, the theory of my process works. It's not about selling you these tools, even though these tools, I will tell you, have helped thousands of people, listeners, that come to my Tuesday, the Tuesday office hours, and they have helped so many people change what was a bad investing career. So I know that they work. So I promote them. I'm an affiliate. Do you need them? No. Find a process that works for you. And like I told you, my motto, work smarter, not harder. I am able to put together this entire podcast and my entire portfolio with these 3 tools. And if you're a pro, get Seeking Alpha Pro. This is an amazing tool. Why? Because it gives you all of these things. And I love the quant. And the number one thing I love in this pro quant is upgrades and downgrades. I can't go in there, but it literally gives me all of the stocks that have been upgraded to strong buys. And like I said, one of my favorite screeners that I've recently developed is this one, the strong buys that report earnings. And it's a bonus if that is an alpha pick stock. If an alpha pick is a strong buy in the quant and it's reporting earnings, that's a bonus. That's why I say get the bundle. This yearly price is not hard to make if you just rinse and repeat with some of these opportunities, like Applied Digital. That's just the most recent one. There have been plenty of others. Want another one? Micron. We talked about Micron as being a strong buy right before their earnings in December. And that's when it was trading, by the way. We can go and look. I said, hey, this the 4-hour algorithm, it makes you 314%. I did not want to buy at that 265 right after the earnings, but I did. And I'm glad I did. It got you out right on earnings. But I said, you know what? Micron is a strong buy. It's reporting earnings. I feel comfortable with my position in it, even if it goes down 10, 15, 20%. Because fundamentally, it's a good stock. So again, I have my system. I am not here to tell you what to buy. I am here to guide you and to give you some opportunities to think like me. That's what this entire podcast was about. So have a great weekend. I will talk to you Monday. Okay, bye. A long podcast. Hey, Josh. Yeah, I thought that was my best, by the way, rant. I will probably cut that one out and use that as a clip. Oh, that's great, Josh. I mean, I haven't doubled my money in a couple of years. I haven't doubled my money. I wish I would have, but. And yeah, CE, I go to Sprouts for specialty stuff. I think we used to go there for steak. Oh, you went to Sprouts, by the way. Okay, just brought. Did you go to Sprouts just now?
I just went and then came in and I heard you sprout, so.
Oh, you went to Sprouts. What'd you get? You got organic lemons and brown eggs.
Right. So eggs were out and the price was the same as Walmart.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, for the ones we like.
Right,
Oh,
right.
well, pasture raised. Yeah.
Right. The same kind. This one is different.
It's
but
a different
I checked
kind.
The pricing.
Yeah.
They were filled with many things that was good. You know how you feel like something is good about this store?
Yeah.
That was them. So I was like, I was going to check the stock.
Yeah.
It might be going up.
You want to see it? Let me show you. I just went over it. It's a strong sell in the quant.
Yeah. So something is good about
Strong
that
sell in the
store. I
quant,
can
but it's
tell.
turning around.
Oh,
And it's right on this 200 day.
okay.
So my guidance was it's at like 70, 77 right now.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it above that 9 day.
Right.
And if it turns around on that 9 day, look at how low the MACD is and how the RSI is. It's good to have a watch list. But the fact that you just brought me a Sprouts receipt,
That was funny. And you
that's an
know,
omen.
It's a good, something is good. Like
Well,
managing or something is good.
was the store clean?
Yeah.
They turned it around. Because remember, that store was bad.
And it's stocked with many, many things.
Okay.
Nothing was out.
They've turned it around. I'm sure that they've guided, go to Sprouts. But that's the way you look at stocks. Again, she went to Sprouts and heard me like screaming about it. So, yeah. Morning, Nicholas. That was a proper. The mullet picture? I think I have a picture. Hold on.
They might think that we are getting back margin or something because like it's so timely.
No, we're not getting it. We're not. Just so everyone's aware, we are not getting. I am not an affiliate of.
It's funny. I never go to that store.
I know. And then all of a sudden today you're there. Let me see my mullet picture.
Gary, you don't have to listen to the douche in the internet. You just have to go shopping.
Yeah. There we go. That is a 15 or 16-year-old Gary. So, there's the mullet picture. I think I had the Camaro at that point in time. How much for a dozen eggs? The dozen eggs, I mean, we buy bougie fucking eggs. I mean, you're a multimillionaire, you buy bougie fucking eggs. $6.99 for organic pasture raised. So $6.99. That is funny though. I got to put that in the newsletter about she went to Sprouts. I should put the keyboard sounds in. Again, I didn't even bring up the top 2026 stocks that just ran and people should be buying. Okay, today we're going to bring that over here. There we go. Let's see. We're going to colorize this one. And then I look green. There we go. I mean, that was probably, I would say, top 5 podcasts that I've done. It took you on a story. So I buy some eggs at Costco. If we go to Costco, we'll usually get that 2 dozen kind of thing. And I like the hard-boiled eggs from Costco. But Costco does not have, at least our Costco, it's different, I think, around the country with Costco's, but they don't have the organic pasture raised. And our Costco is always out of eggs for the last like couple of months. Again, there's been an egg shortage, so I know that, but we get the organic pasture raised. So we're usually, we're fucking bougie as fuck. I mean, when it comes to eggs, we're bougie as fuck. We are bougie as fuck. Green screen. Let's put this up. Wah wah. I got to do a thumbnail. I sell for $7 pasture raised. You sell eggs, Larry? I honestly, if chickens weren't so like dirty and took so much effort, I'd probably have chickens in my backyard. But okay, let me just copy this name and then we'll put this in. Export, and then I'm going to do a thumbnail. Wait.
May love Chevy.
Okay. Wah wah. Wah wah. Ah, you're a poultry farmer. I didn't know that, Larry. Kudos to you, man. That's a tough fucking business. And again, she got organic pasture raised eggs at $6.99. That's and we just bought. I think we bought a dozen. Like, she's been using a lot of eggs. We make a lot of like stir fry stuff, and eggs are just good for stir fry. Let me see. I'm gonna do my own thumbnail. Customize this template. Okay. Local files. Let's look at this one. Can you make a look at the camera smiling with his hands crossed across his chest? Let's see what happens with this photo. Let's see my portfolio while this thing's working. I hope Apple Apple has gone through a rough business. But I tell you what, Apple for me, I had to get Face ID. Probably the most screaming buy. Yeah, I'm up $600. So my portfolio is not. Oh, what is that? Maya. Perplexity just turned me into an Asian man. I don't know why. I asked it to make me look like an expert and it made me an Asian man. Electrician. It did. I should show you. I think I could probably show you. Oh, let's see. Local files. Can I upload this one? No. I'm just going to start a new one. We'll start a new thread. Attach files. Can you change the pose to this person facing the camera with their hands crossed? Let's see. I think it made me look like an expert because it's an Asian. I don't know why, but let's see what happens. Do 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 do. Keep the facial features. There we go. Okay. I'll take that. Download. And then we'll upload. Upload file. Generated image. And we'll do that. And we'll background remover. Boom. Put this over here. Over here. And we'll let's just do 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 do. Wah wah. Let's just make that. There we go. And boom, boom. There we go. My hair, yeah, my hair is not perfect. I think that looks more like Ryan Seacrest than me, but it's AI. I mean, it's AI. So, let's see. Seeking alpha. We'll put this in. And we'll put Trendspider in. I should put a, let's see, elements. Recently used. There's one. Do 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 do, and we're gonna do that, and we're gonna send it position backward. There we go, and we're gonna change it to a black group. Boom. There we go. And let's put in some logos. Uploads. What did we use? We didn't do applied materials. We did Bloom Energy, by the way. It was soaring. Seagate, Credo. Nobody knows Credo. Oscar. We'll put up Oscar. Put up Open Door. I think shrink those down a little. We're gonna put up Constellation, Coinbase, Robinhood, Hymns, Vistra. Brought up Vistra. I brought up Vistra, I think. APLD. Brought up APLD. I know I brought Costco. Micron. Brought up Micron. Broadcom. We brought up CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike. Costco. Palo Alto, AMD. We brought up NVIDIA as well. NVIDIA. Supermicro, Amazon, Google, Uber, Palantir, Trendspider. Okay. We'll just share that one. Why not? That's a good enough thumbnail. I think it should be downloaded from. Yep. Let's see. And we'll go over. Sorry, I am so boring, but this is the part of the podcast that is just kind of whoa. That's funny. She went to Sprouts. Okay, let's see. We're gonna put in And my hair is that perfect when I actually get it done. I think. Listen to the end. Downloaded. We'll put that one in. Wah, 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 wah. Promotional content. I have to. Okay, there's that one. Oh, I may have. There we go. I gotta go back. Let's see. Library. We gotta go down to the bottom of this one. Because there's the bullet topics. There we go. Copy. And the episode summary. There we go. And okay. We're going to upload to YouTube. Select files, desktop. Da-na-na-na-na. Okay. Wah, wah, wah. Take that. Oh. Okay. There we go. Upload file. Oh, I gotta name it as well. I'm sure the name cut off. Yes. Let's see. Okay. Show more, paid promotion, yes. This one, generating preview still. Altered content, no, I don't care about tags because those don't fucking work. Next, put up none of those, submit. Next, import from video. Put in that one. We'll put in this one. And then public. Let's make an instant premiere. Publish. Okay. We've got that one published. So YouTube will be uploaded very soon. Spotfiy. Let's look at, I gotta upload it to Substack as well. Dashboard. Create new video post. Select file. God, I get so many ads on live. Let's see. We've got QQQ up 0.16. We've got Apple still falling. Apple, if you were looking at the 4-hour algorithm, you would have sold it around 270 or 257. So optimizing this, you're right around this support level, which should provide some relief from this fall. The weekly needs to be reset. It was clear it just ran too much. Hood, for instance, I was looking at Hood yesterday, and that still hasn't reset totally. My expectation is this probably, either sits here at 116 or goes down to 100 again. We're going to do 3 ads there, and then I got to wait for the waveform editor to pop up. It was 49 minutes. That's a long podcast. Oh. That was a long podcast, yeah. And yesterday, by the way, there was a lot of internet congestion in Wednesday. I took yesterday off. I'm sure I've got texts to respond to, 7 texts. Both dogs pooped and peed. I'm running an errand and we'll be back. You already came back, in case you were wondering. There were only 2 eggs left this morning. Oh. Oh. You should know I'm not gonna. Waveform editor. Sorry. I am planning my Martin Luther King Day hikes. I think we're going up into the Carolinas. That's still uploading. I got a lot to do. Okay. I think that's good enough. I will talk to you guys Monday. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate everybody who's been an OG around. So, okay. See you guys.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.